it is.
Well, there it is. Hey, welcome to another game being casted by WTii, and in this game we're going to watch WayToTheTop, who is the blue orc at the bottom of the map, versus Life Without Warcraft 3, who is the red human at the top of the map. What would it be like, eh? Life Without Warcraft 3. Very different for me at the very least. So the map is Secret Valley, and we can see there is no speed building from our human friend over here. He's playing it cool. He's going to be sensible. I'm part expecting a Mountain King, but I don't know. We've got probably a far more standard build for our orc friend here. So barracks, altar, so Blade Master Grunts. I wouldn't, or maybe Farseer actually, because that's pretty effective versus humans. We will have to pay a little bit more attention and have a little look and see. But first of all, Life, show us what hero you're gonna go. Archmage and Farseer. Well, at least I got one of them right, if you can call that right. I did say Blade Master and Farseer, but I switched to Farseer and I pretty much stuck with it, so I think that counts. We've got our peon having a little scout, seeing what's all about. Gotta be careful. I hope these don't aggro. They look like they want to aggro, don't they? That would be really annoying, because they can ensnare too, so you don't really want to get off to a bad start like that. A tower here, well placed by Life at the back of his base. This arcane tower is going to have maximum range over his entire peasant, well, facilitations, I suppose. He's going to have a good time, at least once he gets that arcane tower up. He's definitely going to want that, because the Farseer is going to want to get inside of that base with the wolves and try to do some damage. Militia coming out here, but not just to pick off this peon. I wonder whether that was a bit extreme. No, it's to help him creep up this spot. And I can see in the mini-map the Farseer by Life is choosing to creep his little green spot instead of actually coming up here with the Farseer and trying to harass and maybe pick off a couple of peasants or militia that might be low on health. So it does look like, sorry, Life. I've got to get the players. Way is the blue one. So Way is the blue one. Life is the top guy. That's the guy. Ooh. Footman aggroing Murlocs. Don't particularly want to do that if you can help it, because you're going to get a poison attack, which is a dot, aka damage over time. Take quite a lot of damage from just one hit from the Murloc Nightcrawler. So now let's have a look at Way. He's going for the green spots at the moment. He's playing it quite safe. I don't know. I mean, Farseer is a bit slow. He wouldn't be able to get up there that fast, and maybe the Archmage would have been done, but I wonder whether he could have had the option to pick off a peasant or two. Would have been still worth a shot. Gloves of Haste, not a terrible item, especially if you come into early micro battles. It could be very helpful. 2 grunts for Way and a tech started. More grunts on the way, so 3 grunts soon. Does look like Life is going to be using these militia whilst his Archmage is creeping this green spot here. He's going to be microing his militia at this other green spot to kill off this creep camp. So we can see 5 militia, if he does pull this off, is going to be enough to do this. So in case you are curious about doing this for yourself, it's worth a go. And it does look like they've got a bit of life left in them, so they're going to be able to finish off this creep camp and then return back to base, allowing the Archmage to get that bit more experience without even having to be there. The only thing he misses out on is the item. Does look like Way is going to be picking up a boots of speed here and going for a little bit of harass with his fast. He's also got scroller speed, so if his grunts get into any trouble whatsoever, he can run away, or if he wants to catch up with his opponent, he can certainly do that quite comfortably. And the Farseer is coming over here, maybe to check, maybe to heal. A bit of both, why not? Life coming down here, managed to avoid his opponent thus far and maybe come in for a bit of harass. He's actually checking this for this green spot, expecting it to be there, but it's not. It's gone. Meanwhile, over here we've got a footman being chased heavily by spirit wolves, but the Farseer has released some new ones, so he's going to take the creep camp up here. He's gone straight for the troll raider. Yeah, the guy that ensnares. I can't remember his name exactly, but yeah, that was an interesting move. I guess it's probably because Life is battering his base right now, would be enough of a reason for him to come back. Oh, that was a nice chain lightning. Guaranteeing the footman kill. Sticking on the Archmage now. Archmage will be able to flee from this. Even though he hasn't got boost of speed, he is still a very swift hero. And he's going to turn around here and... Who got the last hit there? I feel like the grunt actually last hit the wolves. I'm not entirely sure. Who did it? Who got it, eh? Anyway, the tech should be almost finished for Way, so let's have a look and see what he builds. If he's not building it just yet, I'll come back. Tech almost complete as well for Life at the top here. A little bit of a discrepancy going on between the Archmage and the grunt. Yep. Keep away. And we do have a bestiary being built at the moment for Way. Meanwhile, at Life Space, we've got a solo grunt going at it against the Arcane Vault and the Arcane Sanctums. Two of them being built for Life at the top here. And I wonder if that grunt was able to see that. It is night time, so I'm not sure if he could see all the way back into that base. But that'd be good information. Although you could always suspect that your human opponent is going to go Arcane Sanctums because they're really, really good in almost all 1 versus 1s for humans. They are quite linear in their build style, which is essentially go straight for priests, sorks, and spellbreakers. Why not? They're great units. And this Archmage still doesn't have a boost of speed, but it doesn't matter because the Farseer that does is getting cut up by all of his grunts. But yeah, why should he chase? Why should he run away? Come straight back into Life Space and go heavy on this Arcane Vault. He should be able to pick it off. I don't know, the peons are coming in, but they're actually converting into militia. Going to maybe pick off a grunt here, but very unlikely. There is still the scroll of speed for our friend, and he's actually got a Fire Lord right now, so this is going to be really good. But at the same time, it does look like Life has actually brought out a Blood Mage, taking away the mana from the Fire Lord, but not quite enough because one Lava Spawn is out after the other one, so he's actually managed to get 2 Lava Spawns out there very effectively. Blood Mage in a bit of trouble here. Running away, scroll of speed used to try to keep up with him. Farseer consistently bugged by his own grunt, but it looked like Life managed to pick off 1 grunt, but I don't know whether he can survive. Blood Mage will not be speedy enough to run away, and even if he does, he could be annoying at the very least and hang by this healing fountain and try to goad the creeps into attacking the rest of Way's army, and he does this. He sacrifices the Blood Mage, denies the experience, and now Way is first as these creeps, but behind him remains Life's units. Not many of them, but they're coming. They want revenge, and in comes the Archmage summoning a Water Elemental, still only level 1, has not reached the level 3 that he needs to be. Gloves of Haste at the back there, don't know if anyone cares about it right now because something is going down and that's a battle. It does look like Life wants to try to do something here, but he's not quite strong enough, but there is a grunt here being slowed. There is no disenchant yet for Way, unless we can see. Oh, we've got 2 bestiaries and no Spirit Lodge, so that's interesting. Sorks sitting at the back, trying to keep their distance. Archmage going for the Gloves of Haste. 2 more Sorks coming in. A bunch of very vulnerable footmen might get Chain Lightning. No, not enough mana yet for that Farseer. That could have been a good day to do Chain Lightning. Doesn't look like the Archmage is actually going to use a Town Portal. I wonder whether he could have just walked away from that. That did seem like a rather expensive way to get out, except for the fact that Way might very well have himself ensnared, so maybe he just thought it's not worth the effort of trying to get away in case I get ensnared anyway and lose something. So this Drake is going to go down very shortly. The damage from these 2 heroes is useful, but the ensnare guarantees the kill. Boots of Quel'Thalas, actually useful for the Fire Lord here because he is an agility hero, so he can benefit from +6 agility quite nicely. But yeah, you don't normally get a Fire Lord for DPS or damage. He's okay if you get away with him sitting there, but most of the time he's being focused, so he just spends most of his time running, and you pretty much get him for the Lava Spawns. Oh, lovely ensnare there, caught on the Spellbreaker, forcing Life to come back here. Great nuisance here. He can't actually invis his own units, and he hasn't got Initiate yet. In come Militia, trying to flank him from up top, and it does look like a good position to be in because they're going to help out Life's army quite greatly. Archmage finally hitting level 3, gives him a little bit more health, but he's getting very heavily focused right now, and he's got no way out. Ensnare's going down, finished off, and it does look like Way actually has a good position here despite the Militia all ganging up. There's still a decent chunk of raiders here, a lot of raiders in comparison to anything else. Just 1 grunt, 5 raiders. Militia still going strong, but soon they will run out of their time and they will have to walk back to base before they can go back to Militia. Blood Mage now hitting level 2. No Siphon Manners from him though. I haven't seen much coming out from him. Sorks going strong on the slows, but they are slowly running out of mana, and only 1 Spellbreaker really. Here comes a Siphon Mana, just trying to take out whatever's left of the Fire Lord's mana, deny those Lava Spawns from ever coming back. Farseer is also quite low on mana, so there's not really much that our friend here can do. I wonder if he's gone for Banish, because he's not throwing down any Flame Strikes at the moment. Another mana drain there. And more Militia coming back in once again. Slow, lasting for a really long time. Should be able to pick off a couple of raiders here, but he might lose a few units in the process. Sorks are very easy for raiders to kill. Raiders will do bonus damage to Sorks. It's not like they do a huge amount, but it's enough, especially once they've got the ensnare. As you can see, Sork being picked off one after the other. That's all Way cares about at the moment, is just slowing down this Sork count whilst he can get his way up to Spirit Lodge, because I imagine he must be building a Spirit Lodge. He still actually hasn't gone for a Spirit Lodge. He's being really brave here. Banish was the choice for our Blood Mage. And it does look like Raiders are a really heavy focus here from Way, and it's working, because as soon as those Sorks are coming out, he's probably going to keep trying to ensnare them and pick them off so they can never have a large number. That way he doesn't have to worry too much about having Disenchant in his army. But this is rare for an Orc not to go at. 2 Bestiaries, no Kodos, just full-on Raiders here. Ensnares all over the shop. It's going... losing a bit of focus now, I would say. Going a bit on these Militia, but still I'd say focus on those Sorks, because that was working quite nicely for you before. But too many Sorks coming out now. 4 Sorks sitting at the back. Archmage is back, providing that aura, that Brilliance aura, that gives the Sorks the mana they need to consistently spam slow and push back Way's army. And Way, very slowly, there we go. Finally, speedily, look at the difference that makes once slow runs out. Oh, but so many Sorks getting in here. He's going to have to use a teleport or just stay here and fight. Either way, it's going to take him a long time to just run away from this battle. Firelord coming back in. Does look like Farseer has reached level 4. Siphon mana taking away whatever's left of that Farseer's mana. Scroll of Speed would be amazing right about now. This is a big reason why Orcs get Scroll of Speed as well versus Human, is because it negates the effects of slow for a limited time. So you can basically go from essentially a slow speed to a maximum speed like that if you use a Scroll of Speed, which is very effective. These units are just not really being picked off here because Life just doesn't really have much damage, much DPS. He's got the Sorks, the slows are really effective. The heroes do a little bit of damage, but even then it's still not enough. These Raiders have a decent chunk of health. 610 is nothing to be snuffed at, and they take reduced damage from Sorks, I believe. Medium armor does take reduced damage. Yes, it does indeed, but Militia and Spellbreakers will do a little bit extra. And more ensnares going down, Spellbreakers being caught. Kodo coming in here for the eat. Lovely combo there, ensnare and then chomping away with the Kodo. But it does look like Life is trying to get it. Oh, he's trying to get a surround, but not quite managing it. It does look like he's going for the Raider instead now, giving up on that Banish Kodo. Banish is now over for the Kodo. Is Slow going to go down? No, the Kodo's going to make his way out. He's coming back in for more though. He should really just retreat and get out. He's pushing his luck, that's for sure, because he could get away with a free Spellbreaker there, but it does look like whilst he's running away, another Raider's coming in, trying to just distract Life. Life being distracted by the odd Orc unit over here, over there, all over the shop. Banish being used on the Archmage just to reduce the amount of damage he's taking, making him ethereal, so he can only be affected by spells, but if he does get Chain Lightning or any other spell cast on him, it's going to do bonus damage. So you've got to be careful when using Banish. Farseer. Not quite yet level 5. Barely halfway, but still doing strong. Way's got level 4 Farseer, level 3 Firelord. The units are a bit lackluster, and the Quel'Thalas boots are still on the Farseer. Maybe he just doesn't care about that Firelord. I don't think the Firelord's an amazing hero to, you know, use the boots of Quel'Thalas for, but it doesn't look like he's actually getting a lot of focus here. He might want to get back. He's going to want those boots to run away now. Not that it's going to affect his speed, but never mind. We got a Kodo here, really still pushing his luck. Sitting there getting focused by the dragons and all likes, and there we go. The Spellbreaker does manage to break free from the Kodo's stomach. Raiders being focused, running back, throwing down his snares. Firelord being focused, pulling back. Does look like Way still got a fairly strong army. He's really staying in this. I love the commitment to these battles that these players have. A lot of other players would have run away, recuperated, but they just keep going at it. But it does look like Life has managed to build up enough Spellbreakers to actually battle it out with Way and push him away, because that's what he needs to do. He's stopped a little bit on the Sorks. He's still going to get Sorks. As you can hear, they're still coming out. They're really important to have, especially versus an orc that hasn't actually invested yet in a spirit lodge and still hasn't. So no cowcasters, no spirit walkers for that disenchant to remove the slow. And the spell breakers are a great unit here because he needs them. They're going to do bonus damage versus the raiders. He's going to need them to actually be a bit of an army, because whilst he had just the sorks, he wasn't really packing much of a punch in terms of damage. Archmage level 4. Also level 4 Blood Mage with an invulnerability pot. Another fight coming in here, slow going all over the place. The Orcs army is surrounding life here though. This is a somewhat predicament position to be in. Water elementals moving around trying to reduce their chances of being attacked or picked off. Sorceress being banished. Kodo getting an eat there. Or devour, whatever you want to call it. Either way, his stomach is full right now with a Spellbreaker. We've got Sork being focused here. Once again, this is the good use. This is what you want to try to do. Ensnare the Sorks and bring them down. Ensnare lasts a bloody long time. It is really pretty broken. I don't want people to argue with me on that, but it is a bit sketchy. Oh, there we go. Kodo's picking up more Spellbreakers for their belly. Raider not fast enough to get away from this damage, but Banish going off on the Blood Mage. Halfway through to level 5. Same with the Archmage. Oh, all heroes on that level 4 Furge, almost for the Fire Lord. He just needs one more kill, one more pick off. Maybe it'll be the Spellbreaker. Could be the Spellbreakers in the Kodo's stomachs. They still got a while before they digest. Does look like life is bringing in some militia here to add to the fight, to the party. This is getting quite hectic. Scroller speed being used by Way to escape for a limited time, but slow now being recast now that Scroller speed has finished. Archmage being focused, but Banish being placed on him just to reduce the damage. Very effective spell, Banish. It reduces the chance for Orc to pretty much bring down your hero, because as soon as he goes on him, Banish, boom, there again, he's saved. It is your lifesaver, but this means that he doesn't actually need to invest in invisibility, because many humans would get invisibility by this point just to save their heroes, to take them out of it. Oh, invulnerability pot so close. He's going for another Banish, really pushing his luck, just trying to save that invulnerability pot, since Banish will do the same job unless there is that chain lightning. But there isn't, because he is making use of Siphon mana, consistently taking away the mana from the enemy heroes, from Way's heroes, so he can't cast any spells. And these are, well, like I say, Fire Lord, you don't really treat him as an agility hero, so you kind of treat these two as intelligence heroes, even though he is agility hero. You treat them as heroes that depend on summons. They depend on their spells to be effective, and when they're losing their mana consistently, they're going to be annoyed. Another Banish going off here, just giving this Blood Mage so much life. It's like multiple invulnerability pots. He actually hasn't used his official invulnerability pot. You just can't take away these heroes. And he actually has pushed back Way here. Very effective play from Life. I've got to give the guy credit. He's done a fantastic job here. For me, Way was doing really well there up until that point. It turns out that that commitment to raiders has finally backfired. He did a really good job. Most orcs that go double bestiary and mass raiders would not be able to do as well as he did. But there comes a time where the mass of sorks and the sheer spam of slow is just too much. Enough is enough at the end of the day. And it does look like Way is probably going to want to invest in the Spirit Lodge, but he still hasn't done it yet. He is really committed. 2 Kodos coming out here. Very useful units, as we've seen. Chomping away on those Spellbreakers, removing them from the battle. Feral Spirits, Wolves looking around, spotting a Priest coming out. More Spellbreakers. I don't think there's any upgrades for these units, so both teams are going to be sitting on 0-0. They're not worried about upgrades, it's all about the units. And for our Orc friend here, it's all about the Raiders and the Kodos. And the summons whenever he can have them up, which isn't too often. But a Priest, if that's an upgraded Priest as well, an Initiate Priest, would be able to make short work of these. Because he can dispel, but it's not an initiate one. I was pretty sure the Kodo was going to get something to eat there. He's getting blocked off by the water elemental. Kodos are very fat, and they are very easy to block off when they get slow cast on them. So that's a very unfortunate thing for Way there to lose a 4 food unit, 255 gold, 60 would just pretty much gone for no reason there, unfortunately, other than a slight distraction. Now we've got a really good fight going on here. Once again, Banish being beautifully used here. This is just so effective. He's able to sit right in the middle of the Orcs army, banish himself, take away all the mana from the enemy casters. As soon as they go back into that Blood Mage, Banish once again. It's beautiful. Sorks sitting at the back here, spamming slow. Raiders trying to get in with Ensnare. Peons all over the shop, going to be distracting the enemy army, being some sort of effectiveness. Using the Sorks mana, because you can see the Peons are soaking up slow here. Whilst they're attacking, they're still seen as hostile to these Sorks. So on autocast, they will be attacking the Peons. So this is pretty damn effective. Banish being used on the Kodo. That would have been so good to see Banish be used on the Kodo just as it was about to eat. Looks like it might come back in for another eatery, but it's not going to be able to do it. Just sitting there. I wonder if it can provide its aura. It still does provide aura whilst it's banished. And that lasts a long time now because this is a level 5 Blood Mage. I wonder if he's gone for level 3 Banish or level 3 Siphon Mana. I'm not sure, but either way, he doesn't need any more because both of those enemy heroes have no mana. This is really sad to see a Farseer with 480 mana, but only 29 points and no Wolf's out at the moment. He just can't do it. I'm surprised he hasn't maybe invested in more mana pots. We've got a level 5 Firelord, so that's going to be something at the very least. He still does not have that boost of Quel'Thalas. It looks like they've been sold the boost of Quel'Thalas for some cash. That's how we see Firelords. We don't even care. Even if you get a really good item like boost of Quel'Thalas, which is amazing for an agility hero, it still doesn't get put in a Firelord. That's quite funny to see. So whether that's the right thing to do or not, I'm not sure, but I won't argue with it too much. You certainly wouldn't change your mind if it's a Blade Master. You're going to whack that boost of speed on that Blade Master. Peons here still putting up a fight. It does look like Life hasn't got that many units left, actually. Despite his effective play here and Micro, the Peons have actually been very useful here for Way. But whose Peons are coming out now? The Militia Peons for Life, and he's throwing them in, going heavy on the Farseer, being chased away. Might be able to pick up a bunch of Peons here, more experience, might be able to get level 6 on this Archmage. If he gets level 6 on this Blood Mage, that's it. GG as far as I'm concerned. Phoenix is going to be just too much for this Orc to handle, especially when he's got a very small army. He hasn't got much to go for him, and these beefy Water Elementals, level 3 Water Elementals, just balling it all over, up in your face. Although we have got some Shadow Walls finally, and there's the Farseer going to go down. He's almost pushing his luck there. I was a bit worried for him there, trying to take away the mana whenever possible. These heroes very vulnerable right now. Does use the Scroll of Teleport. Don't lose that freaking Blood Mage. Do not do it. That Blood Mage needs to get level 6. He needs to get the Phoenix. Oh my goodness, both players. Oh, I just heard that the Kodo finished his dinner, whatever that was. It might have been a Water Elemental. Whatever was nearby, I imagine. And we've got Clarity Pots being used, but the gold, yeah, there's no gold left. That's gone, man. Imberace says WayToTheTop. He's upset with the Archmage and Blood Mage play, and I'd say it was a smart choice. If your enemy gets a Farseer, you go something that takes away the Farseer's mana, because the Farseer, he likes his mana. He doesn't want it taken away. Does look like a bit of outside of your base mining. If someone could tell me what the name is for that. I know there's a name for it, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But it's where you basically expo mining, essentially. But you're not. It's when you're basically mining and you haven't actually got a base there outside of your own. But the name just slightly isn't coming there. And he's sitting here. He's got the slow and the Siphon mana. The Farseer can't escape. But it does look like the Siphon mana stopped. It's now going on the Firelord. Stopped once again. Not lasting for very long. Banish used on these Sorks, that's probably why. He's banishing all of his units over and over. He hasn't really got much damage though. This is his problem. He's being very effective in trying to save his units, but this is the problem. It feels like he's on the defense, and this is a bad position to be in. The slow Raider is actually backfiring because he's doing a fantastic job of blocking off the Archmage. Does that the Archmage is slightly just able to escape. Blood Mage is now in trouble still. Hasn't quite got the level 6. If he could just do it, please get the level 6 and you could easily win this game. That's all it takes. Way doing a fantastic job coming back here. It's back and forth between these two players, really committing to the battles, and you cannot tell which way is going to go. He's actually sitting quite strong, but these lava spawn are about to run out, and the shadow walls also. So how much mana have we got for our Fire Lord? 59 on the Fire Lord and 111 for the Farseer. Now, going to pick off some creeps here. Get that little bit extra gold maybe. No, he's moving up here. Is he picking them off? Is he going for some kills inside of the human base? Does look like the Archmage has reached level 6 just about finally. Blood Mage being chased away. It almost looks like Way knows where he is. And he does. He's following slowly. He just got Fission, but he's now switched his attacks onto the Archmage. Archmage has got an invulnerability pot, but he's being chased. Oh, he gets crit there by a Shadow Wolf. Oh my goodness, it's so close. Archmage coming back in here. What's he doing? The Pathing is all over the shop. He has got the surround. That's what he was. He was distracted by the surround that he used there. Oh, so close. That really could have gone either way between the two players. Fantastic job by WayToTheTop and Life. I mean, honestly, both players could have taken that and I would have said, well done. I didn't feel like either player particularly deserved. In fact, I felt like both players deserved it, but only one can win. Because WayToTheTop, he did not get a Spirit Lodge. He did not have Cow Casters. Orcs depend on those versus humans, so to be in a 25-minute game and win it against a human player that's gone pretty heavy casters without the counter to it, it's really impressive. He did such a good job there with... I mean, he didn't even get a Tauren Chieftain as his second hero. And that's a standard thing. He got a Fire Lord instead. What's that all about? He didn't get a Tauren Chieftain for the Shockwave and the Chain Lightning effect against the casters. And the Raiders, the Raider spam was just doing so well. Life was probably pretty upset with that. He's probably like, this guy probably should have lost by now. What's going on? He did a really good job with the banishes and the taking away the mana. But it was a defensive style of play, which is fine if you've got some units that can passively be doing damage. So you know that damage is being put out whilst you're being smart, saving units with the banish, just reducing your enemy's damage as well by taking away their mana. All the meanwhile, the Spellbreakers should be just consistently sitting there, that threatening damage. But no, not quite. Not quite. It didn't quite work out. Maybe too much of an investment in Sorcs? Because you'd think that was a logical answer. Your enemy hasn't got Spirit Walkers. It hasn't got Disenchant. It makes sense, right, to mass Sorcs versus Orcs. But no, it's just so weird. Brilliant game. I really enjoyed that. You might be able to tell. That was really well done. So close between both. Oh, so good. Alright, well, if you like that game and you enjoyed this commentary, then like the video, give it a big thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And share it amongst your friends, favourite it. Do what you gotta do. And subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you later.